Hi there, it's Greg T with the Image Stop. This is a quick overview slash tutorial on how to utilize the slider plugins that are available through the builder that your site is built on, or your sites actually in this case are built on. I'm doing this as a generic one just so that people can potentially use this for themselves, whether they are one of the sites that your company has with us, or one of their own. So just a quick overview. There's no secure information being shown here other than the name of the site, which is Veritech, of course, and that's at energyexperts.ca in case anybody who's watching this would like to check them out. So what I'm going to do is we're going to do this on a new test page, just so you can see how things are built right from scratch. Now on that, this can be added to any of your existing pages as well, but this is just a tutorial to show you how the slider works and how you can get it working for you. So I'm going to add here, right here, the use the builder. That is the builder that we use for building all of our websites. We have for the last 3-4 years at this point. The reason we do this is that we've set this up. It's a great system. It's a great system that we're going to build from scratch. There we go. It's a great system that works really, really well and has a lot of plugins and things, if you will, built into the builder, so you don't have to add more into your website. The reason this is important and a very a good way of setting things up is that this enables us to ensure that the coding and how the plugins or the extras that the modules bring to you in your website aren't going to conflict with the theme or anything else within the theme. They work together. And yes, there's an argument that some developers will say, oh, well, that ends up being a bloated theme and there's, it takes too long to load and so on and so forth. Well, our experience has been really simply, if you got good hosting, it's not an issue whatsoever. Not only that, but this theme has been rebuilt over the last year, rebuilt in such a way that it loads scripts differently and doesn't load what is not needed. So it actually pulls back on that bloat that people claim. So, okay, without further ado, let's kind of go through here. First off, you're going to see here a little hi, thank you so much for using Master Slider. The Master Slider plugin is the reason that we're doing this tutorial. It's one that we're going to delete from this website after we're done with this tutorial. We want to point out that this is why we're doing this. We noticed in doing some maintenance and some updates on this website that the slider plugin had been added. Not a bad thing to add sliders, but what we ask is that if there's something new and plugin wise that you want to add to your website, maybe reach out. We have no problem with explaining or just giving you the best case scenario on what will work for you. And the reason we do that, again, is kind of back what we said, so we don't have coding conflicts or things that will slow the site down. In this case, the master slider does and will slow the site down and potentially cause issues in the future. One other thing that we didn't point out in the early little bit there is that when this theme updates, for instance, and it updates on a fairly regular basis, and if you're with us with your hosting or your maintenance package, then your sites are all covered as far as the licensing for this builder. The bonus in that is you'll always stay updated. There'll never be any issues. Whereas some plugins that you may add, the developer may shut down, and those plugins can become then vulnerable because they are not updated to all the current technology from browsers and or WordPress. So you want to make sure you've got something that is going to continually be updated properly and not put you in a precarious position. So let's do this. So I'm going to now just create a full width row. And watch this. We're just going to kind of scroll down. There's a couple ways we can do this here. There's a post slider. That's for all of your blog posts or news posts and things. There is, scrolling down here, here's your slider. We're just going to add that right there. So that adds the module right there into the builder. I'm going to say add new slide. And we're going to say test slide 1. We can even add buttons in this if we want. In this case, we're not going to, but you can add buttons in there very easily. You can add extra text. Right there. And we'll change that to text. Here's your image and video. Now the image and video, that's going to add an image on top of, or video on top of. We want to do a full background in this case, and I'll show you how that's done. First of all, we're going to get rid of the default background color. We're going to add to the image area, click background image. It's going to go to the media files here, and I'm just going to add a couple that were actually used in the master slider when this was put in. And say check, and that's good. And there's the test slide 1. Now, once we have all this completed, you'll be able to duplicate this. But what I want to do is show you on the front end how you can see this in visual lens. So we're going to publish this page. Wait till that finishes publishing. And then we're going to go to view page in the top right area of the website. And there we go. There's that slider, you know, looking really, really cool there. Now I'm going to enable Visual Builder so we can do some things right here in the visual side. And I'll show you how you can do a combination of things here. Now you notice first of all that this isn't an edge to edge or taking the full width. Well, there's two ways of handling that. One, we can potentially go here, add a new section and go full width. And watch this, there's right there, there's a full width slider. We'll do the exact same thing here. We'll go here. We'll leave the ones there. They've got some sample stuff. We'll leave that for now. Go to the background. We'll do the same thing. Delete the background color. Add this one so you can see side by side how these work. Pretty excellent there. Now, what we might say in this case, okay, and I'm going to use the full width one just for now, but what we can actually do in this one, just as an example, is if we wanted to, we could change this row, go into the design area, go into our sizing, and change this to 100% being our max, and change this to 100%. And look at that, it does give us the full width. You know, we do have some padding here on the bottom from the section and the row. Same here, the section and the row. I'm just dragging here. So you end up with a very similar look. The reason that there's the two different ways of doing it is the full width one is already preset with all your the negative padding or the zero padding. So that's why. But in this case, like I said, I'm going to use the full width one for the rest of this, just so we understand. All right, so let's look at this and say, okay, we don't mind this. However, the title, we want this to be bigger and bolder. So if we go here, we can go into that specific slide, go into the design side, text title, and look at this. Let's go for extra bold. Okay, maybe that's a little bit too much. Bold. We can say we want that slide, that to be larger. And we want that to be different on different screens. So let's go here to the screen look view here. Here's our desktop. Here's our tablet view. So that's a little bit too large. Let's shrink that a little bit. There's our phone view. So that's pretty good. We can do that, or we can shrink or enlarge as we wish as well. And then go back to desktop view. And what we've just done is set this up on the responsive level to work with every different screen we like. Now in this case, we can add a new, to go back to content here, we can add a link that the button goes to, or we can just simply say we don't want a button. So we'll just get rid of that. Okay, we'll see maybe our body text isn't quite what we want here. So let's go to that body text. We'll increase that size-wise here. It's at the default 16. We'll go to 22 pixels. Not too bad. Even then, maybe just a little bit light. Well, look, we can even add shadows to that and make it a dark shadow so it stands out slightly more visually. Only slightly, but it's enough to make this work a little bit better. And let's do that for the title here as well. There we go. And we can say we really like that one. Here's a problem though. Okay, if we go to the second slide, it's still the old settings. So let's go back a bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on the first one that we've done, and I'm going to say copy item styles. Now I'm going to right click on the next one, and I'm going to say paste item styles. So automatically it pops in all the same information as the other one, as far as, sorry, not information, but the background and the settings. The title itself, that only stayed the same because that actual slider was the same. I'll show you how that works. So I'm going to delete that one instead. I'm going to add a new one, and I'm going to say test 2. I'm going to get rid of that button. No, let's not get rid of the button so you can actually see how that sets up. I'm going to go back to this, and now I'm going to do that right click, paste item styles. Oops. There we go. And we're going to go down to the background. We're going to change this background image to the whale picture that we had in our folder here. There we go. So now it's got these two different sliders in there. Now you notice just some things where we're maybe not seeing some things as far as the ability for it to slide. Look at the elements section. Go here, show arrows, show controls, yes. Now we're going to go to the design side. At the very bottom, it says animation. We're going to say automatic animation. Now this is all done in milliseconds. So we're going to say we want that in 9,000 milliseconds, basically 9 seconds. Continue automatic slide on hover, yes. Run animation once, no, we're going to keep that looping, and save. Now watch this. We're just going to go down and click that purple button down the bottom and click save. Now, just for the sake of, I'm going to exit the visual builder so we can see how this works right on its own. So there we go. The title pops in. You see the arrows show. It shows the controls at the bottom. And as we say, we've got this over top of here. In about 9 seconds, it changes and shows the next one. Perfect. There is our slider. We haven't added a new plugin. We've used the existing system that is already there, and makes it all work well. So I am going to just add one more thing here, that if this is an existing page, you can just add that section and that slider just like what we did here, or you can create a new page however you like. That's just the way some of those things work. So that is the Visual Builder tutorial. Hope that works for you. If you've got any other questions, please reach out. Best way to get us is Greg or admin at theimagestop.com. And thank you so much. Take care and have a great day.